Okay guys, so in this video we're gonna look at how to get Linux up and running in VirtualBox on a virtual machine so that we can all have the same system for doing our development. So what we're looking for, the version of Linux we're going to use is called Ubuntu. So if we go to ubuntu.com in our browser, we can get the version we need. So we're going to download Ubuntu Desktop, and then here we're just going to pick the latest features, Ubuntu 13.10 as of the time of this video, and we're going to do 32-bit because it will be more compatible with the most systems. So then just go ahead and click download. You can skip over this step for now, and it says thank you for downloading. You see it shows up here and it starts your download. It's about 900 megabytes, so depending on your connection it could take a long time. Right now you can see that it's not going very quick, so that'll be a minute. But while it's downloading, we can also go and look at VirtualBox. So VirtualBox is an application that allows you to run virtual machines inside of it. So we need to download VirtualBox for the whatever system we're using. So in this case we have Windows, OS X, and Linux. So if you're already running Linux, you don't need to download VirtualBox. If you have Windows or if you have OS X, you just need to pick the version for your operating system, and you'll see down here that that starts downloading as well. So we're going to take a break from this while these download, and I will be back as soon as they finish downloading. Okay, so now our disk image is downloaded and we can start loading it into VirtualBox. If you haven't installed VirtualBox, you need to go ahead and do that. It's pretty straightforward from the package that you downloaded in the previous part of this video. So we have VirtualBox, and when we open it, it says we haven't made any virtual machines yet, so we need to go ahead and do that. So we can click on New, give it a name, and basically you just have to tell it that we're using Ubuntu because that's the image we downloaded. So we say continue, and then it's going to ask you for a lot of different defaults. Most of the defaults for these options are fine. So if we need to change them later, we can, but for our purposes here, they should be okay. So now we have a virtual machine, but we have to tell it what disk image to use to boot up. So we go to Settings, Storage, then we click on this little icon right here, and we say choose a disk because we have one. Then go into your downloads and pick the disk image that we previously downloaded. And then hit OK, and now we're ready to boot it up. So we just hit Start, and this is a message about how it's going to handle your keyboard input, but basically it's going to accept the input from your keyboard in the virtual machine, which is a good thing because otherwise you wouldn't be able to type into it. So if you give this a minute, it will boot up into Ubuntu, which is what we want. We're going to have to do a little bit of work to get it actually installed, but if you notice in the previous step, one of the options that we had to choose was a virtual hard drive. So along with this virtual machine, you have a virtual hard drive. So what the installation does is it just puts the operating system on the virtual hard drive. So that's a key step that we are going to take care of right now. And if you look here, you'll see that our mouse pointer has changed from our default cursor into the cursor in Ubuntu. So that's a good sign. There's the Ubuntu background, and it's going to prompt us to install Ubuntu because it's going to look on the disk and say there's nothing here. So we're going to go ahead and click install. And we see we have all the requirements that we need. So we'll say download updates while installing. And because we created a virtual hard drive, there's nothing actually on it, so we can go ahead and say erase disk and install Ubuntu. So then the installer is going to take you through various steps to kind of make sure everything's set up correctly. So make sure it has the right time zone, it should automatically detect that. Um, and then make sure that your keyboard is set up properly. You can type some test things in the bottom. Make sure the special characters are working as they should be, and just again, the defaults are pretty good for this, so that's fine. And then we have to choose name and password. So go ahead and do that. And it's your choice whether you want to log in automatically or require your password. But again, that's fine. We can skip this step for now. And it should go ahead and start installing it for us. So this is going to take a little bit. We'll come back once we get the installation finished up and start using Ubuntu. Okay, so now our installation is complete. So we just go ahead and click restart, and this will just restart our virtual machine, and we'll be able to use Ubuntu. Get some nice output telling us what's going on. It says please remove installation media and close the tray. There's nothing in the tray, so we just hit enter, and then it restarts. Again, the message about capturing the mouse and the keyboard. And it asks you to log in if that's the preference that you set. And here we are, running Ubuntu inside a virtual machine.